Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing well. Okay, I'm gonna. Sorry, the audio is kind of weird.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, here's all the friends that are here to see you.
Hey, everybody. Great to
All right, and we're ready whenever you are. So thank you so
Okay.
much.
No, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me. How's everybody doing out there? It's great to see you. Hey, I would love to read for you Misunderstood Shark, if that's all right. Okay. All right. Let me switch over to my other screen so I can read you my book. Okay. One sec. And tell this person to stop texting me. Oh my gosh, it's my wife. She's saying hello, everybody. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch over to my other side here, and we're going to go over here. Can you see that now?
Not yet. We still see you.
Oh, you do? Oh, how about now?
Yes.
Great, great, great. All right, I'm going to change this to full screen so we can get this nice and big. Okay. Have you guys read this before? Yeah! Okay. I will try to do it justice. There's a couple different voices. We're going to do it. Here we go. Underwater. Here we go. Underwater World with Bob broadcasting live in 3, 2, 1. Hey, who did this? Misunderstood Shark, starring Shark. Written by Amy Dykman, illustrated by Scott Magoon. Hello, people. Today on Underwater World with Bob, fun facts about Shark. Shark, the people are watching. Don't eat that fish in front of the people. The people can see me. You misunderstood. I wasn't going to eat him. Help. I was just showing him my new tooth. Oh, fun fact about that, says Bob. Sharks can grow and lose 30,000 teeth in their lifetime. Can I say that? 30,000? Shark's tooth fairy must be exhausted. Fine, Shark. Maybe you weren't going to eat that fish. Shark? Where's Shark? Oh, no. Shark, not the baby seal. Don't eat the baby seal in front of the people. The people? Oh, you misunderstood. I wasn't going to eat her. I was just helping her find her family. Thanks, Mr. Shark. You're my favorite. You're my favorite, too. Oh, fun fact about that. A great white shark can eat 22,000 pounds of food in a year, and seals are their favorite. What did the shark say after he met a seal? Burp. People, I may have misunderstood Shark. Shark? Oh, gosh, where's Shark now? Sniff. What is it, Shark? Sniff. What do you smell, Shark? Sniff. Tell us what you smell, Shark. I smell blood. Oh, fun fact about that. Some sharks can smell a single drop of blood and a million drops of... Forget the fact. He smells blood. Get out of his way. No, Shark. Don't eat the people in front of the people. Blood, 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 blood. I brought boo-boo strips. Apparently Band-Aids is trademarked, so we have to use boo-boo strips. Shark, run for your lives. Wait. I was just trying to help, but the people misunderstood me too. The ocean gets its saltiness from the tears of misunderstood sharks. I read that somewhere. All 3 of my little squid hearts are breaking. I wasn't going to eat the people. I wasn't even going to bite them a little. People, I know sharks can seem scary, but you're actually thousands of times more likely to be bitten by another person than bitten by a shark. That's a fact. Wait, people bite each other? Maybe they taste like chicken. And there you have it, folks. Sharks really are just misunderstood. I need a hug. Don't look at us. When it comes to hugs, squids stink. Yeah, because if you squeeze us, we ink. Oh, I suppose I could, says Bob. Hug time! This is nice. This is nice. You smell good. Uh-oh. I can't watch. Gulp. You ate me. I can't believe you really ate me. In front of the people. You misunderstood again. I didn't eat you. I'm just playing hide and seek with you. You want to play? Ah.
Yeah, I don't want to play.
I don't blame you. Goodbye, people. Tune in next time for more fun facts and an inside view of our underwater world. What are you talking, Tickles? That's a wrap. The end. Did you guys? Thanks so much. Can you see me now? All right. Hey, I would love to draw a shark for you. Would you like to see how I draw a shark? All right. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but all of the drawings I do for all of my books are done on my computer. And my computer is right here. You can't see it, but I'm going to switch over to that in a second. And I'm going to start drawing sharks. So you'll be able to hear me and see the pen strokes that I make on my computer. I use this special pen to draw on the screen. It's really just a regular pen. It has no ink in it, but it has a special tip that lets me draw on the screen. So bear with me. I'm going to switch over to this other screen. And I'm going to use a special program called Photoshop. And that program is how I make almost all of the artwork in my books. Okay. So let's see. I'll switch over. And it's going to be blank to start with. But as I start to draw, you'll start to see things appear on this screen. Okay, so here I am right here. This is my big blank piece of paper. I can move it around with my hand tool. I've got all of my colors that I use for Misunderstood Shark right here. This is called a palette. And you can see there are many colors. I use them in different ways across the book. Down here, these represent all of the different brushes I have. So for example, let me just do a couple of quick brush strokes for you using different brushes. This is pretty neat. This is a brush called Wamazing, and it gives you this kind of nice, I don't know what this is, like a watery effect. This brush gives you a very, it's called Chipper, and it gives you like a chipped effect. You might use that in a splash, for example. This one, let's see. This one's called Dampy Drops. And this one I think is a bunch of like water drops and water droplets. And again, I'm just using that same pen I showed you before, but different brushes from over here on this bottom right-hand side that gives me different effects. Pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start drawing shark for you. I'm going to use this brush called Kids Crayon to start with, just to get some lines going. And I'm going to draw a shark just using simple shapes. That's all shark and really any drawings are. Simple shapes used in certain combinations. And you can see I'm just drawing simple circles, triangles, half moon shapes. I can zoom in too. I can zoom way in like this. And you can see it kind of looks like a crayon line or a pencil line. And that's the kind of fun stuff you can get out of digital drawing tools. Got his snout going, we got his mouth coming in here. His teeth are just two W's side by side. There's one W, there's another W like that. See that? I can zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit. And look at his eyes going. Nice big eyes. And I'm not going to worry about overlapping lines right now because I can always go in and erase those really easily using the eraser tool. I'm going to show you another trick that's really fun to play with when you guys do your own drawings. Do you guys like to draw? Yeah! All right, cool. I just had to make sure. Here's something to try at home when you have your own, or at school when you're doing a drawing for a character. Play around with the eyebrows. I'm going to draw some just eyebrows in like this. And I'm going to move those eyebrows around to show you how many different expressions you can get out of one pair of eyebrows. So here he's just, maybe he's really excited to, well here, let's draw Bob over here. Maybe he's just really excited to see Bob. Oops. Bob's a little freaked out, of course. The shark's right there. And, okay. Bob's a little freaked out. All right, but Shark is very happy to see Bob, according to his eyebrows. You could be surprised to see Bob bringing his eyebrows up like that. See that? How he looks a little more surprised? But if we take those same eyebrows and move them downwards like this, what does that start to look like he's saying to us? Like maybe, hey Bob, you look kind of delicious. He looks a little mischievous with these eyebrows, doesn't he? The same lines, just used in a different place on the drawing. And that's an example of how, and you can make them a slightly bigger too if you want more of that effect. Right? Just all in where the eyebrows live on Shark's face. Isn't that crazy? Really fun. Play around with eyebrows and you'll have lots of expressions to work with in your drawings just by using eyebrows. Okay, let's get back to drawing and finishing our shark. We definitely need to add some gills to him. Just combine these two layers. Gills are really easy, just 3 lines like this. And then he's a great white shark, so they have this like gray on top and white on bottom. So we're going to use this line to kind of indicate that. How's our shark looking so far? Good. All right. Raise down a little bit, and then they're there. Clean that up a little bit. And let's zoom in here. Clean that out a little bit. It's really easy. To erase, I just press E on my keyboard, and that gives me my eraser tool. I can just kind of go in and erase. All right. Let's move them over a little bit. There's our black and white shark. I'd love to add some color if you want to see how we add color. Okay. I'm going to go over here. I've got all these colors ready to go that I've used in the book. I'm going to pick this color right here. It's called Shark 3. I call it Shark 3. And I'm going to pick a new brush now, guys. I'm not going to color with my crayon. I'm going to pick this brush called Gouache Super Dry. And if you look over here at this layer palette, you might not be able to make it out at school there, but all of the line I put on this, what's called a layer. And if you think of layers as a piece of paper in your digital drawing, that's kind of what a layer is. So on this piece of paper, on this layer, I put all of my lines, okay, for shark. But on this layer, now you can see it selected, I'm going to put all of my color. And I'll show you why that's really fun and really important in all digital drawing in a second. But let's just start adding some color. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you can see that this brush kind of looks like paint. It's kind of got like a blotchy paint look to it. And this is the actual brush that I use to paint shark in the book. And the trick is with this brush, I'm not going to worry about staying in the lines or going out of the lines. The trick is with this brush is that you build up the color. You start with one color, and then you add a little bit more color to it, and more color to it, until you get the shading effects that you want. Really, really fun to work like this. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about staying in the lines right now because I like when color goes outside the lines. It adds a little bit more energy and life to your characters, and that's what you want in picture books. You want kind of manic and exciting and out-of-the-line characters, I think. So, I mean, I'll clean it up a little bit like this, but for the most part, I'm going to just leave the lines like that. I'm going to color in his belly by doing this. I'm going to select this gray color. And I'm going to use my lasso tool. And I'm going to show you this trick. I'm going to select just his belly, like this. Do you see that? And using a keystroke, I can change the color instantaneously to this nice gray color. Now, I don't have to do that. I could have painted that in, but it was a neat way to show how you can change colors in certain parts of your drawings really easily. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing, and then we can keep going. I'm going to pick a slightly darker color, slightly darker blue. I've got 16 million colors, guys, to choose from here. But I'm going to pick a slightly darker blue. And I'm going to start painting again over what I've already painted using that same wash. And that's going to get me some shading. That's going to make shark start to look like he's almost like three-dimensional or round in shape. Is that too dark or too light? Should I make it a slightly darker blue? Watch this. So go over here. I'm going to go further down into this blue color. Maybe like right here. Let's try that. And using a keystroke, I can change that color instantaneously like that. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're starting to see some really cool shading effects in our shark. This, maybe add this snout a little bit. Up here. That. And again, I can clean up really easily, just like that, with my eraser tool, wherever he's going up too far outside the lines. All right. Now, the other side is true, too. I can add highlights. I can make the areas lighter. That's catching light. So I'm going to go up here and pick this lighter color blue, like that. And I'm going to add that color. Wherever there's going to be, wherever there's going to be a highlight. Maybe let's just use white. Okay. Like that. See, that's where he's catching the light. How's that looking? Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Now, lastly, I think we should probably do something his mouth, color in his mouth. And he's got this dark blue color in his mouth. I use a different brush for his mouth. It's this brush called Amazing. There it is. And I'm going to get right in there. Why isn't that showing up? Oh, I know why. There we go. Okay. Clean that up a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, let me show you something cool. Remember I was telling you about those layers before. These are all layers over here. These are all essentially, if you think about it in this way, they're like pieces of paper. Now I can make those pieces of paper visible and invisible simply by clicking on this eye icon. So now, I've got just the color. I could put it back in if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down so it's visible. Then I'm going to pick a new brush, and it's called Big Bad Wolf. And this is the brush that I used for his eyes and mouth. And this brush is it's like a big. Yeah, this is a really fun brush to use. Just kind of see it. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of erase just a lot that we don't need. And I can do this because it's all in its own layer over here, and I'm not affecting the color layers. They're all dependent on line color. Does that make sense? Oops. Okay. All right. All right, now we're kind of getting our loose shark going on, right? Is it looking okay? I think we need to add some, what if we add some nice blue color behind him so he pops out from the screen a little bit more like this? Yeah. And we can clean up his eyes so that we'll see his eyes again. But you can see it's a step-by-step process. It never looks quite right until you get all the way through, but as long as you kind of keep your eyes on what you're doing, keep your eyes on the eyes and know that it's going to look like a final and it all kind of works out. All right. Let's turn this down just a little bit. And now I think what we can do is clean up our shark outline a little bit so it's makes a little more sense. It's a little sharp around the outside. Or sharky shaped. They're looking clever.
Good job.
Yeah. All right. If we could add some shading to his belly a little bit, what do you think? All right. Let's do that. But we'll get back to that like question. All right. In front of you guys. Oh, I see it. Okay. Pretty good? Great. All right, we'll clean those guys up a little bit. You want to take Bob now? Do we have time?
Well, we would love to be able to ask you some questions.
Sure,
Can we
yeah,
do that,
definitely.
maybe?
How about you guys can ask questions and I'll keep working on Bob while I answer your questions.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go class by class. Okay? Just so everybody has a turn. Remember, we're talking to an illustrator. He's making books. So think about the kinds of questions you should ask. Right? Got it? There's some things that that would make sense and some that might not. All right.
Okay.
Fine.
We'll work.
Don't forget, tell them who you are. You won't see, well, you'll see yourself, but you won't see him. So go ahead.
I'm here, go ahead.
My name is Carden, and
Hi.
my question is, in the book, did you write the blood where the red eyes were on him, or did the person who write the words do that?
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely Amy, the author. She did that. Yeah. And I was kind of just reacting to what she had written in the manuscript. Yeah, that was all Amy's choice.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that great?
All right.
Thank you for your question.
All right, I'll take a peer friend next. Tilda. So say, hi, my name is, and then after.
Hi, my name is Tilda, and I was gonna ask you, how did you make the book, and why did you make it?
How did I make the book and why did I make it? Oh my gosh. Well, I made the book using my computer, kind of like you're seeing here, and my iPad as well. And, you know, I'm going to switch back over to you guys because I feel like I can answer your questions better. Okay. All right. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this manuscript was so funny. I got to read it from Amy. It was sent to me, and it was just so funny. I loved doing the different voices as I read it. I just couldn't resist it. It was just so funny and charming and full of action. I had to do it. It was just one of those books that kind of just swam out at me and said, Scott, you have to try this. You have to try drawing a shark. It was really fun.
Yay.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
All right. A fry friend. Adam. Remember? This is it.
Hi, my name is Adam.
Hi, Adam.
How did you come up with the idea of this book?
Well, thankfully, Amy, the author, came up with all of the characters, and it was up to me to decide what they looked like. And that was really challenging because you might know, can you think of other shark books out there? Like other picture books? Yeah. So I had to come up with a shark that looked totally different and kind of my own look, you know, because I didn't want to borrow other people's. That was really challenging to do. And then coming up with Bob, the character, was hard to do because originally he wasn't supposed to be, I didn't know he was a jellyfish. And I don't think Amy did either. It was just one of those characters that she had in the book. So at one point he was like an underwater robot, like an ROV robot, like a drone underwater almost. And we thought that wasn't as funny as maybe a jellyfish that could be eaten. So there was some I did collaborate. I did work with Amy as we kind of came up with these characters. But for the most part, it was all Amy's idea. Yeah. Thanks for your question.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you like swimming?
I love swimming. Yes. Thanks for asking. Do you like swimming?
Yeah. I'm on
Yeah.
a swim team.
Oh, you are. My sons are too. Congratulations. What's your favorite stroke?
Freestyle.
Yes. Yes. Is your season still going on? Are you still practicing?
Yeah.
Good man. Do you want to swim for a school someday?
No.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but when I swim, I love to go snorkeling. I like a mask. Like if I'm in a lake or a pool, I like using a mask and a snorkel. Maybe seeing fish like sharks.
All right.
That's well. Thanks for your question.
No, I'm doing one for each class, and I do your class.
This is so. I feel like I'm sitting here in this class with you guys. It's so neat.
My name is Lucy, and why did you become an illustrator?
Oh my gosh, great question. I love drawing. I can't stop drawing. I've drawn all my life. I always hope that every time I sit down to draw, my drawings will look better and better and better and better. And that's why I keep coming back to drawings. I hope that with every drawing, I get just a little bit better. And never stopped. I've never stopped. Do you like?
Yeah.
Do you like? Yeah, I can tell. That's so great. What's one thing you like to draw a lot? Can you think of something? Dogs, yes, because there's so many different kinds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so fun. They're hard to draw, I think. Thank you for your question.
All right, teachers, what do you think? Yeah, time for more?
so much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I think we're gonna have to say goodbye just because it's. No? I don't know. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. Okay, never mind. We'll take one more round. Never mind.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Okay. Where are we now? Back to second, right? Taylor.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and how much books have you written?
Hi, Taylor. Thanks for your question. That's a good question. I have written 5 books. I've illustrated 26 books, though, so I've illustrated way more than I've written. Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for asking.
All right. Oh, Harper.
Hi, my name is Harper, and do you like sharks?
Hi, Harper. I love sharks. Maybe not so much when I'm swimming with them, but I love sharks. They're so fascinating. There's over 444 species of sharks, and every one of them has something unique about them. So they're so interesting. Do you like sharks? Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Have you ever seen a shark?
No.
I've seen one. I've seen one. It's trying to eat a
So if we all talk and answer at the same time like that, nobody can hear anything. We have time for one more question, and it's going to be somebody else besides me is going to pick it. Some other. How about Miss Dale? There you go. Okay, one more. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, whatever you want.
Are you going to read any other books?
Am I going to
Make any other books?
read any other books? I could read another book. I don't know what kind of time we have, but
Wait, do you want what it say it again?
Make.
Oh, are you going to make any other books?
oh, I'm going to make another book. Yeah, definitely. I'm working on one right now called Party for Rover, and it's about the Mars rover that's on Curiosity that's on Mars right now. And yeah, so I get to draw Mars and a robot on Mars. It's been really fun. So that's coming probably next year.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh my
asking.
goodness. All right. First grade, what do we say?
You're so welcome. Thank you guys. It's been so fun.
Yay, I so appreciate it. And now we're going to, I'm sure, try and read all the rest of your books because I think this was the first one that we found just because of when I saw you on Twitter that one day. So again,
That's great. I so
Thank you.
appreciate this chance.
thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
so-